In a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind and gentle girl named Cinderella. After her mother passed away, her father remarried a woman with 2 daughters. Sadly, her new stepmother and stepsisters were cruel and selfish. When Cinderella's father also passed away, they treated her as a servant, making her cook, clean, and sleep in the cold attic. Despite her hardships, Cinderella remained kind-hearted, always dreaming of a better life. One day, the kingdom announced that the prince would hold a grand ball to find a bride. All the eligible young women were invited. Cinderella was excited and hoped to attend, but her stepmother mocked her. She promised Cinderella could go if she finished all her chores and found something suitable to wear. But when Cinderella managed to fix an old dress, her stepsisters tore it apart, laughing cruelly. Heartbroken, Cinderella ran to the garden, where she cried under a large tree. As Cinderella wept in the garden, the fairy godmother appeared, a figure glowing with warmth and kindness. "Why are you crying, my dear?" the fairy godmother asked. Cinderella looked up, startled but hopeful. "I wanted to go to the ball, but I have nothing to wear, and my stepmother won't let me," she explained, her voice trembling. The fairy godmother smiled. "Well, my dear, with a little magic, we can fix that." With a flick of her wand, the pumpkin in the garden transformed into a golden carriage, shimmering under the moonlight. The mice scurrying nearby grew and stretched, becoming majestic white horses, while the old scrawny cat turned into a distinguished coachman. Finally, the fairy godmother turned her attention to Cinderella herself. "Now, let's give you something worthy of a princess." With another wave of the wand, Cinderella's ragged dress melted away into sparkling fabric, forming a gown so beautiful it seemed to be woven from starlight. Her hair was swept up into an elegant style, and on her feet appeared glass slippers that glimmered with every step. Cinderella gasped in amazement and twirled in her gown. "It's wonderful. Thank you," she cried. "Remember, my dear," the fairy godmother said, "the magic will only last until midnight. You must leave the ball before the clock strikes 12. Cinderella nodded, her heart brimming with excitement. She climbed into the carriage, and the horses set off toward the palace. When Cinderella arrived at the palace, she felt a rush of nervousness. As she entered the grand ballroom, all eyes turned toward her. The guests, dazzled by her beauty, whispered in admiration. Even the stepsisters, who didn't recognize her, gawked in envy. The prince, standing at the top of the staircase, was struck by her elegance. He descended quickly and offered her his hand. "May I have this dance?" he asked, his voice kind and genuine. Cinderella blushed but nodded, and soon they were gliding across the floor. The music swelled, and for the first time, Cinderella felt like she truly belonged. As they danced, the prince spoke softly to her. "You have a grace and kindness that I've never seen before. Who are you?" Cinderella smiled, choosing her words carefully. "Just someone who dreams of a better life." The prince was intrigued but didn't press further. They danced for hours, laughing and talking as if no one else existed. For the first time in her life, Cinderella felt seen and